Hey everyone, we are in 2024 now. Is that right? I think that's right. January 5th, 2024. And it's been a quiet week. Looking forward to breaking down some of the stories that we were reading just recently, but not a lot happening, but plenty to talk about on just the Media Matters thing. So here's your update. So today we were just kind of looking at what was happening with Media Matters. The Elon Musk trial, he basically ended up suing Media Matters, and that brought some amazing disinfectant, some sunlight to the situation, in which we found out that there's a lot of, I guess you might say, partisan funding for everything happening on that side of the equation. It looks like if you go to, I think it's at Free Beacon on X, says they've uncovered a confidential list revealing Media Matters major contributors. Not going to go through all the lists of all of the contributors, but I think that one of the interesting points is that they call themselves a media watchdog, but operate as a DNC front group, orchestrating advertiser boycotts, and they suppress free speech by basically shaping results. I think the story reads that somebody had basically refreshed a certain video like 70 times in order to get the one ad load that they wanted. They wanted to get a Netflix ad, I think, so they could use that for public pressure in a campaign. So definitely trying to shape results. They accessed active accounts for over 30 days, bypassing filters for new users. Basically, just not a fair fight. But all of this is now coming out in the open. I don't think you're going to see a lot of people talking about that, but this is all very new information. All's quiet on EV Mux. We did not see an update from EV Mux. Was there an update from EV Mux? I'm gonna double check that. I don't think there was. So I think we're all kind of in that first week of January slump that everyone's still kind of getting back into the groove. I know we're still getting back into the groove. We were traveling as well over the week and got back, and we spent a lot of time just kind of putting the office back together, getting the cameras that we traveled with, because we travel with the same cameras that we shoot with. And we're finally functional again. But like I said, very quiet on the news front. We're waiting to hear when we would get studio access so that we can start reporting on the studio. And we are looking into going deeper into Streamlabs tools in the coming weeks. We're allocating resources to getting ourselves a Streamlabs account. Kind of feel kind of off because, I mean, literally as we were going into this report, we had to reboot machines. We have networks that were working all day, stopped working. Lighting works great this week. So it's like we get one and then we lose like access to the network on our primary broadcast computer. We're building in redundancies though. We finally are set up to start doing training videos from this position, which will be wonderful. I actually have the ability to share my screen with you without like doing the Inception entropy. And with that, I also want to announce that we are doing something now called video. What is it? Video Lab 7. I think that's what we came up with for a name. Video Lab 7. Have to look it up here. See if I can pull. I don't think we're doing our own Twitter account, but we are doing everything that we're doing in the Seven Talents, which is at, and I think we have a banner we can pull up real quick. It is at 7talentscom on X or Twitter, if you prefer to call it what it used to be. It is no longer what it used to be, thankfully. But we will be doing all of our real-time lab testing of software, all of our tests, all of our anything that we're trying to understand ourselves. We're going to live stream it as we do it. And what I think is going to be the most valuable about this upcoming year is that as we stream all of this testing, we have the immediate ability to tag people inside of the companies that make this software, get their direct feedback on the questions that we're having as we're having them, get feedback from you on Twitter, telling us what it is that, whether you've had the same experiences or not. So literally just got that set up before we went on our 4-day vacation downstate. Now that we're back, really looking forward to starting to build all of the content that we're going to test. A lot of that is going to be centered around multi-streaming on StreamYard, multi-streaming on EVMux, multi-streaming on Streamlabs. We are going to be looking a bit at a couple of other tools that are competing with Restream, like Switchboard. We're going to get into that. And honestly, if there are things that you have questions about that you'd like to have us tackle and we could tackle together, please let us know in an email. You can do that here at info@7talents.com. We take those suggestions very seriously. We will make content from anything that we can that we think benefits the creator community. So anyway, that's about all there really was. The Media Matters thing. There was something else that I could not bring up.
Got our first comment here.
Got a comment coming in?
Yeah, you want to read it?
Yeah. Is it Candace again? Yeah. Hey, Candace. Good to see you. Tell your friends. You got to have creative friends out there. But what's our comment read? What do we have? He's reading off the comments for me because I can't read now. It's going to be kind of our workflow. He's the voice of all of the... you get to be the audience voice, but you don't have to do David Attenborough.
Yes, the comment, I'll do my best of Werner Herzog then. The comment says, you got to love the technology. Can't live with it, but you can't live without it. Yeah. As you were early in the scene, she was talking about the funny things happening with the technology right before we went live.
Oh my gosh!
Which reminds me of a segue, because segues are for closers.
Right.
That you wanted to bring up about one of the podcasts that was out there on one of the platforms, and noticed gave us a little behind the scenes as to something going live that they'd never seen before. Did you want to bring that up still?
Which one? Help refresh me.
It was on X. It was about a 3-letter acronym. I can't.
Oh, yes, Patrick Bet David.
There you go.
Yes, let me look that up. I do want to play that video before we roll out.
So,
I guess now that it is 2024, officially now, we are in an election year, right? And it's also the Rumble Super Bowl year, we like to call it. We don't know exactly what that means, other than, are they going to do a Super Bowl ad? I don't know. And also, if you're interested in joining, send us a note. We'll send you an invite. We want to start having guests on. Guests that are active in this industry that I would love, like I said, to get anybody from the EVMux team on. I would love to get anybody from the StreamYard team on. If anybody has any contacts in that industry that they think that we should know, again, leave us a note, either on Twitter at 7talentscom or info@7talents.com. Let's see. I got to see if I can find the Patrick Bet David. That was actually pretty interesting. And I'll play it from my end here. I think I can share it. But they had a bit of a glitch going on we're starting to see them, and when I say them, I mean big tech, starting to manipulate social media again.
Not to be confused with Big Tape, which is the rabbit hole I've only introduced you to.
That's correct. Big tape is a real danger, a real menace to society.
It's on my screen here, but it's not on.
I'm going to remove that from. No, I don't want to remove. Let's. Yeah, I do want to remove mine. Why don't you go to a full shot? I'm gonna share my screen with audio so you can get this.
Okay.
Okay.
Full screen on.
Screen share. I'm going to add a screen share now, which is only that instance, and that way it pipes audio in. So some of the things we're learning. Oh, by the way, we had also decided, was it yesterday or was it today, that we were talking about starting a new training series for those getting into citizen journalism and home content creation, like getting into this field. We realize that we've been taking a lot of what we understand about this industry for granted. So we're going to do kind of a beginner series as well, talking about the necessity of having two screens, talking about hardware requirements, some software requirements, software suggestions. We're going to do some really like how to onboard into this industry type videos, introductions, and hopefully that starts to scale into more walkthrough level type suggestions. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the scene here, drop this to the back. So that's also coming down the pipe very soon. Let me scale this up full. There we go. So let me see if I can pull this audio back up. You should have the audio. Tell me if that's playing for you.
Let's see. It's showing me that I'm getting audio. It's not
Go ahead.
muted.
Go ahead and take the transition. So this.
So just want to give an update to everybody that watches PBD podcast as well as YouTube. Something happened today on the podcast. Have we ever experienced something like this before? Never something like this before. The crew's here. They're showing me. Brandon, why don't you show us the numbers? Because, during the 2 hours, it was 340,000 people that tuned into the podcast to watch it with Alina Habba, Trump's lawyer. And we talked about a lot of different things, but Brandon, show what you see here with the chart.
So within 1 minute, we go from 19,000 down to 13,000.
Yeah.
Go from 20 down to 14.
Yeah.
And again, 19.
Those are sudden things that we've
Boom.
never experienced before.
17. And
Okay.
right now, it's only showing 2 minutes of the podcast on YouTube.
What do you mean 2 minutes of the podcast?
So it's on the thumbnail, it's showing 141. But when you click on
So
the video,
show us what you mean by that. So
you gotta click
so
that.
here right now,
It only shows 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30
You
seconds.
click, it's only
Yeah.
2 minutes.
But
and
go
38
pre-click. What does it show? So pre-click, it shows 141,
And then you click it, it's only 2 minutes and
25 seconds.
And our
So
stream never dropped in quality. We were at excellent the entire 2 hours.
so it wasn't an internet thing. It wasn't a T1 line. Nothing that we're doing.
No.
And then what else you have here?
Yeah, no, this is what they were showing too. Just like a brute force attack of it. Like literally, it's not on YouTube right now.
Weird.
Have we ever seen anything like this in the history of PBD podcasts or value chain?
It's when you talk about the truth and you expose people. That's what happens.
344 episodes with no issues. Jeffrey Epstein list comes out yesterday. And all of a sudden, episode 345, we have an issue.
Very weird. All we're doing is having a conversation, and I don't even think we got into Epstein till the last 20
The
minutes.
last half hour.
It all started when we put Epstein in the title, though, because what was that, 20 minutes in?
Yeah, about 20 minutes in, we changed the title and started putting in some tags on the back end for Epstein because, it was something we're going to cover and it's trending right now. And that's when we started seeing issues.
Yep.
Weird.
And look, yeah, that's when it started. 15 minutes in, that's when the drop started.
Weird.
Super weird.
By the way, the
man.
peak live hit 30,000, right? 29, 30,000. text me, you're like, Pat, we're at 28.9 or whatever number you send me. You know what this means?
And catch that on our Twitter channel. So, yeah, that's about all there really was that's happened since last week. I think in general, everybody is still in the process of processing their holidays, getting things back together after the beginning of the year. And for us, we're looking forward to doing this with you, actually having opportunities to sit down and have conversations with you, the other content creators, whether you're in the production side of things or you're on the talent side of things. We want to start some conversations. We would like to see what it is that we can all learn from each other and hopefully become an asset to this community. So, sorry for the lack of news. Happy that it's quiet, but it's the beginning of an election season. It's the beginning of Rumble's major takeover. If their velocity stays the way it is, if EV Muck's velocity stays the way it is, it's going to be a very, very newsworthy year. So this might just be the calm before the storm. And we look forward to going through all of that with you. We will navigate those stormy waters and help you figure out a path through that makes the most sense for you and the most sense for your audience. So thanks for joining us. We're going to be here every Friday at 7 and randomly throughout the week in Video Lab 7. Link will also be posted at the bottom of this video. Make sure you're in there. We are going to be putting in some sort of gamification, some incentives for you to participate. We're already putting together merch. Some really good looking merch, I might add. But that's coming for producers. We have exclusive stuff for people who end up actually working as producers with Seven Talents, as well as people who there'll be gifts, I think, probably for people who are using Seven Talents as production staff. But a lot of good things coming down the pipe. Look forward to seeing you next Friday at 7 right here. Until then, take care of yourself and keep streaming.